In this video, I would like to show you what is new in LwCAD4 over previous version 3.6. The biggest change in this version is UV mapping. UV mapping is applied into every polygonal tool. We can now create and modify UV maps with all polygonal tools. There is a new shape library tool, which is of course 100% compatible with previous version, but it has a couple new features such as fixed intervals, also UV map support. All package of tools is streamlined in this version. Some tools was removed, some redundant tools, and those removed tools, the functions from them was moved into existing tools. So in final we have less tools with more functions and with more variations. I'll start with curve primitives. In current version, we can see here are only 4 primitive tools: line, rectangle, circle, and arc. In line tool, we can switch between line mode and curve mode. So we can do curve or line, so 2 tools in one. Next, rectangle. Rectangle is now very complicated. So we have base mode, 3 base modes. First, center. In center mode, the pivot point is always in the center, and all other points are scaled from this center pivot. Second, corner mode. The pivot is automatically set always to opposite side of a currently active handle, so we can adjust pivot just with clicking into particular point. And last mode is rotate mode. We can rotate the rectangle with these 2 handles, and here we have also the automatic pivot point, which is automatically placed always to opposite side. It is placed only on these 2 corners, but we can flip it just to use another handle, and automatic pivot is placed into opposite side. These automatic pivots on this rotate and corner handle are very useful when using parameters from numeric panels. So if I want to place this rectangle from this point now and place it precisely to left and down, so I just change width in numeric panel, and width or height is object is scaled from the active pivot into opposite side. This is maybe a little hidden feature, but very useful. Rectangle tool can operate with 3 kind of primitives. Default is a rectangle, and we have here also library 1D and library 2D primitives, so we can switch between all shapes stored in those 2 libraries, library 1D, library 2D. When using shape library, some options from numeric panel was moved directly into a viewport, so we can adjust them directly with these OpenGeo buttons. We can align the shape horizontally or vertically with these first 2 buttons. With fix button we can freeze shape, so shape is only moved now. When I unfreeze it with unclick on the fix button, I can again scale the object. And last one button is a default button. With this default button, the shapes is scaled into default parameters which are used from shape library. And if I want to flip side, I just click into a handle and just drag into opposite side. Vertical and horizontal flip, very easy, no need for additional buttons or parameter in numeric panel. Next is a circle tool. After rectangle, circle tool, first three modes are same as previous: radius, diameter, 2 points, and center, 3 point and center, and last one, elliptic. This was the another tool. Now it is moved into circle, so we can create a circle object, elliptic object in a circle with circle tool. Uh, Last one, arc, is pretty much same as previous version. It has 3 point tangent angle mode. The change with real-time booleans on the primitive curve primitive tools is that when we use, for example, line mode, when we use add or subtract operation, real-time booleans, curve booleans, that this line chain is closed, last segment is closed, so we can do proper boolean operation. Now, add or subtract. Same is with arc tool. This is also open curve, so it is closed. And another change is last boolean operation. Previous version was here was a intersection operation, and the current version has a cut operation. So with primitive tool we are just cutting the existing curves. This is new operation in this version, and most useful new feature in curves are polygon slicing. I'll create some box for testing first, and when any curve primitive tools, any of this is used on this on any polygon, let's say rectangle, with new polygon button here, we can switch between original curve tool and polygon slicing. So when polygon slicing is on, we can very nicely slice these polygons. So we can use also line, circle, and arc tool. And when using a curve or arc or circle, we have also here some max freeze error parameter, so we can define the detail of freezing curve. This new polygon slicing is a very useful feature. It will speed up process of modeling very significantly. Next are polygon tools. Polygon primitives are now only 6 tools here. Polygon box, a cylinder, sphere, pipe, and arc section. Polygon tool is same as previous version, just during when weld mode is enabled, we can see which points are weld with previous points. So these are marked with a green cross, might be useful. And next, box tool. Box tool is based on new features from rectangle tool. So we have center corner rotate base modes, and what is new for polygon primitives is a new 2D button here. So with this 2D button directly in viewport, we can switch back into 2D mode. So when we are doing some boolean, for example, now in the scene, and let's say subtracting, and we have now this tool in 3D mode, so we are doing a subtract operation between this active box and box in the scene, and with clicking to 2D mode, we are switching back this tool into 2D mode, and tool is now drilling. the whole scene. This is a very fast way how to switch back to 2D mode, and into 3D mode we can go again with dragging the offset handle, and 2D mode back 2D mode. Okay, this is 2D button. It's in all tools with a offset handle. Box primitive has a three kind of primitives. First default is box, as we see. Second is pyramid, and third last one is shape library 3D. So we are using shapes from 3D library, and here we have again same buttons as in a rectangle for dealing with shapes: horizontal, vertical, align, fix, and default size button. And for shapes, 2D button is useful because when we are in 2D mode with this tool, the shape is always properly scaled. Height of the, or in this case, depth of the 3D shape is always properly scaled. It is calculated from base dimensions, width and height, according to ratio which was shape was stored in shape library. And if we want to change this depth of the this shingle, for example, just enable offset and we can scale it. And with 2D button we are back in 2D mode, and object is always properly scaled, depth of the object. Okay, it's a 3D lip for box. What do we have? New next tool, cylinder. Cylinder using same base platform as a circle, so we have radius, diameter, 3-point elliptic mode, and here we have three kind of primitives, so 3 tool in one. First is a regular cylinder default, second is cone, and third is a tube. With tube we have some offset, and we can do directly a tube primitives. This is for cylinder. And arc section. Arc section is same as previous arc section with inverted mode and 3-point tangent angle base modes. Next, sphere tool. This is a completely new tool. It creates a regular sphere with radius, diameter, 3-point, and now also elliptic. So we can create ellipsoid. And next one, pipe tool. Pipe tool replaces a previous pipe and handle tool. We have all in one with this one tool. With pipe we can switch between two kind of shapes, between square and circle. So now circle with adjustable sides per segment, and we can also change the railing type of the pipe. First default is a line, next one is a circle, where we can I'll put some lower diameter. In curve we can change the weights with the control points. And last one is pipe. It works as previous pipe, so we have corner radiuses adjustable with the holding shift key. Okay, also offset mode is here as in previous pipe too, and this offset mode works together with pipe railing curve, or even with line railing curve. The biggest change for primitive tools in this version is UV mapping. So every primitive tool, or every tool which deals with polygons, can now enable UV maps. when UV maps are enabled, then if there was no UV map in the scene before, new UV map with name 1 is created automatically. Or if there was any previous UV map selected, then the tool will use that selected UV map. So when this UV map, I will apply some texture on it so we can see this color picture. So when using the any primitive tool now with UV map real-time option, so object is automatically mapped, and we can enable a real world size UV mapping. So now we can change U and V map size, how it is mapped on object, or if real world size is disabled, then it is stretched on each face. So every one tool now from primitives is properly UV mapped, and of course new UV mapping can handle also real-time booleans. So when I subtract the box from this box, you can see that UV map is properly stamped on existing object. So we don't lose UV mapping when doing booleans or any polygon operations in a new version. Everything is UV map compatible. Some good nice features is let's say we can flip UV map on this box. So now it is easy, just drag the handle from left to down and we can flip UV mapping. No need for change to any options. And there is also one more additional new feature, and it is here in a numeric panel. Each primitive tool has a surface option, so we can now switch between existing surfaces in a scene. So we don't need to drop the tool and switch surface. Then we can directly switch between already existing surfaces. So by default, this might be sometimes useful. Shape library is updated into version 2. It has a couple new features and tweaks. It has uniformly sized thumbnail pictures in the numeric panel. Now it's much more clear than previous version. You can set also infinite number of rows here, and it has of course UV map support, and best new thing is a new fixed intervals for architectural shapes. I'll show you later. So I'll start with new add to 1D leap tool. Is updated now that you can add the shapes, 1D curve shapes as aligned or freeform. If you add this shape as aligned, it will store shape that it takes first and last point of the curve, and it will transform it to lie on x-axis. So it will modify it. if you add it as a freeform, so it will take shape as it is in a scene, and it is stored on the same position in library. Next, add to 2D leap. Add to 2D leap is updated with two new modes, so we can add a closed curves into lib2d library. So A1, A2, A3 as a single curve, and we can switch into multiple mode, and under this multiple mode we can add a multiple closed curves as a one single shape. So A4, you can see also that it is marked in a library that this shape is M as a multiple, and rest of the single curve shapes are marked as S. These multiple shapes, this is very useful, for example, for new profiler which can deal with these multiple closed shape. Previous version was limited just for one curve. Next is add to 3D library 2. Here again, same, we can switch between single and multiple mode, and when I add to as a single, it will add single connected. It will take a single connected object. It will recognize the object in the scene, and each connected object is as a single object, and we can add each one as a single object. And when I switch the option into multiple, so now all objects in the scene are taken as a single object, and we can add it into scene. So here also marks as a single and multiple in the numeric panel, and we can see here that there is stored also UV map. So new shape library 3D has a full UV map support. And next and the last one is a new add to archviz tool. Here all shapes which are used with a archviz tools are concentrated here. So we can add windows, doors, fences, and columns here with this tool into library. What is new is the fixed intervals support. Fixed intervals means that we can set the fixed regions along fixed intervals along x, y, and z axis. So for this window, it will be useful to make fixed this frame of the window, and also handle. So I will add this as a door. It will be window door. So first I click into X fix button, and now just I will set which interval is should be fixed. Same for Y axis. Here top frame, bottom frame, and also I want to be fixed this handle. I don't want to stretch it when using with window tool. And I will fix also Z axis here. So also with this handle. Okay, here. So now when we have defined the fixed intervals, I will just add this win1. Okay. And now when I will use window tool, switch to door tool, and I will switch to this test library. Here we have our shape win1. So now when I'm using this window shape, you can see that all fixed regions are always fixed. So the only rest of the shape is stretched. So handle is always correct ratio and a correct size. Also frame. This is very huge improvement. It's used also for fences and columns, windows, doors. Very useful. Next huge improvements is done with cloning tools. Uh, Previously used Pattern 3D cloning tools such as Pattern 3D Polygon, Pattern 3D Vector, and Pattern 3D Spray was removed, and all those functions are now in cloning tools. So almost each clone tools can use a shape library object. So for this vector clone, let's say we can switch the source for cloning between scene object, 1D library, 2D library, and 3D library. I will use object from scene. We have here also a new fast choice buttons in a scene, in a viewport, so we can change number of clones directly with these clones, switch between fast and a not and a normal mode for clone. When using shape library clones, then we can switch shape vertically, horizontally. Another change is that we can set a gap between clones with a new gap option in numeric panel, so for example 0 or other value. And there is also updated a full mode when cloning, and a new update is that over previous version the last clone here is not overlapping the last point, this point. Next is array clone. Array clone has also new OpenGL buttons in a scene for change of number of clones along X or along Y axis. It has also updated full mode such as vector clone, and we can change gaps along X, along Y axis. Again, here we can use a shape library source. So when I will use shape library 3D, it will clone shape library 3D object, and we can use also this shape library 3D applied on polygons. So when I switch into this roof object, after clicking on the polygon, we have here some polygon switch between normal array clone tool and between polygon cloning. So when polygon cloning is enabled, we have same tool as a polygon polygon pattern 3D tool. So we can do some shingles on the roof. So I'll set some 0 gap along X. Also same drift options. Now we can set it as a percent values, and we can create shingles on the roof very quickly with these cloning tools. Spray clone is replacement for pattern 3D spray. You can spray the clones from existing object in scene. Here we have very useful per square unit mode. So when it is absolute mode, you can set absolute number of clones. With per square unit, you can set how many clones will be per unit. In our case, it is 1 square meter. And spray clone can be used also on polygons. So for this I will use library 3D with some nature object, let's say this grass, and when when I use this on a polygon, uh, here we can switch between how this will be cloned over this object. If I disable polygon cloning, we are still in a basic circle clone mode. With enabling polygon mode, the clones are only on this single polygon. We'll set little higher value of density, and with object mode, the whole object is covered with clones. Radial clone works same as previously. Uh, only change here is that we have these additional OpenGL buttons. We can change number of clones here very fast directly from scene, and if there is some offset, very useful 2D button. As we can see, we can switch back to 2D. Mirror tool, same as previous, and what is new here is the rail clone. It also using a new shape library too, so we can switch between source from scene or source from shape library. Here the orientation is a little bit simplified over a previous version. There is only single mode, oriented or not oriented, and this is pretty much for cloning tools. Next, edit tools. From edit tools, biggest change is that all polygonal edit tools can handle UV maps. So when I join or explode and back join this UV map box, it don't destroy the box. Also for fixed polygons, it fixes the polygons, and it keeps still UV mapping on the object. For if I will do some divisions, when using radius tool, also UV map is not deleted. Mass offset, when using on this box, we can offset this edge and UV map is preserved on the object. Previously used thickness tool is now replaced with a mass extrude tool. This also creates not just preserves UV map but also creates on these side polygons. We can switch auto service to other materials as previously, but for example, if I use bevel tool or smooth shift light wave tools, we can see that it keeps these first original polygons, but new polygons are destroying the UV map, or bevel same. So these edit tools from LwCAD4 handles the UV maps much better way. Okay. From simple edit tools, curve tools, there is no big change. Just here we can see that fillet chamfer, two separate tools are merged into a single tool, so we can switch between fillet chamfer in single tool. Updated was also extrude tool. It was a little bit simplified over previous versions, so now there are no additional modes. It behaves exactly as original Lightwave extrude tool, but with little change that it can handle and create UV maps. So you can change mapping. This is very useful, this extrude tool, for extruding walls from polygons or curves. So we can directly put some bricks. Next are architecture tools. These tools benefits from UV mapping the most because we can directly create UV mapped object and no need for additional mapping then. So like this wall tool with already applied UV map. Um, Floor tool has now multiple levels options, so we can change number of floors. Some options are moved into scene. We can switch them with these OpenGL buttons. There is also new 2D mode, so there is only flat floors, polygons. We can switch between floor and sail mode, and as previously, we can also adjust the offset and thickness of the floor. Next are roofing tools. Roofing tools are updated in this version into final package for creating roofs. We have now three tools: line roof, rectangle, n-gon. Line is new, rectangle is updated, n-gon is updated from previous pyramid tool. With these three tools, we can do any modern roof with help of booleans and UV mapping. So I'll start with rectangle tool. It is a little bit simplified over previous versions. Some redundant options was removed from here, and we can now benefit from a usage of rectangle tool template. So we have some center corner and rotate base mode with automatic pivot positioning. We have some new OpenGL buttons for flipping between horizontal, vertical. We can flip gape, hype to hype mode, turn on, turn off booleans, so we can nicely draw a roof. And there is also updated a boolean mode for this kind of tools, so the final object doesn't have scratches on the bottom, as you can see. So we have very nice clean object after boolean. n-gon roof is also a little bit updated, so I will set the anti-clones. We have here tip and edge mode. We can do pyramid roofs, circle roofs. Okay, now nice clean result. n-gon roof benefits from a circle base template tool. So we have radius, diameter, 3-point, and elliptic base. And first, line roof tool. This is a new tool. This is based on a line tool template, and with this tool we can create directly any L shape or U shape or S shape or any shape type of roof directly, and together with booleans. So you can see for this we can also switch between gap and height, left, right, alignment, center. So as you can see, a lot of combinations, and finally we can do any roof with new roofing tools, and no need for additional mapping then. Previous window and door tools are now merged into single window tool. So this window tool and together with fence tool highly benefits from a new fixed intervals in a new shape library tool. So also each shape in window and fence is updated with fixed intervals. So every part which should be fixed is fixed, and we have nice clean result of every window and door even after we change dimensions. Now we can see there are new OpenGL buttons for default settings, fix the shape, and flip it horizontal, vertical. Um, when we use the window tool on existing UV mapped wall, so here I will use default size, fix, put it here. Offset, okay, we can switch to, for example, this door, use default, fix here, place it here. And if we want to have this cut wall also UV map, just enable make UV map on this side and switch to real world, and we can also adjust this inside wall polygons which was cut. Offset mode is accessible only through numeric panel now, because it was a little bit annoying to have it in on the center handle. Okay, this is window tool, little bit streamlined. Next, a fence tool. Fence tool is also updated with a new fixed intervals in new shell library tool. And finally, we don't need that many shapes for fence, because if each shape is properly fixed, we can change height in numeric panel for this, for example, for this column. And if it's properly fixed, it can be any height, and it is not deformed as previous version was. So we have much less number of shapes in a shape library, and it gets a proper result. Also new here is, as you see, this step snap button. We can enable and disable snapping to fence steps. Next are stair tools. All stair tools can do all the UV maps, so we can generate UV maps of stairs. Every stair tool has a new snap to step button, so we can enable, disable step snapping. So when step snapping is enabled, we have then a precise step depth, which is set on in a numeric panel. Rectangle stair, here we have some new OpenGL buttons, same as for rectangle and box template. Spiral tool, also step snap, new step snap button. Arc stair, step snap button. Okay, these are stair tools. And finally, profiler. Profiler tool also benefits from a new shape library too. We can switch between now not just 2D library but also 1D libraries. We can profile any shape from the 1D library. And for 2D library, we can use also new multiple shapes. So with these multiple 2D shapes, we can do ropes, cables, and a lot of new stuff. And together with a UV mapping, real world UV mapping, it is much more powerful tool than before.